And welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watch2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. The New York Jets travel to Glendale, Arizona to take on the Arizona Cardinals, Week 10 of the NFL season. And from what I'm hearing from a lot of Jets fans, they are not feeling very optimistic about winning this game. I'm hearing it's a bad matchup. I'm hearing all kinds of things. The Jets haven't proven they can put wins together. Arizona's hot right now. Let's get a little bit more granular and let's really break this game down. A couple things about the Cardinals to know about them. They're 5-4, leading the NFC West. They have won 3 straight games as well as 4 of their last 5. Their 4 losses were to some pretty good teams: Green Bay, Washington, Detroit, and Buffalo. Here's the odd thing about them. All right, they're in first place despite having a negative point differential. Okay, they've allowed 7 more points this season than they've actually scored. So now let's get into the matchups in a little bit more depth. We're going to start when the Jets have the football and are going against the Cardinals defense. This is the side of the ball, the matchup that nobody's really talking about. Everybody is really talking about the Cardinals offense against the Jets defense. I'm going to save that. So the Arizona defense is allowing 361.4 yards per game. That's 25th in the NFL, allowing 23.8 points per game. That's 19th. This is sort of a no-name defense. Quick, pop trivia question. Name 3 starters on the Arizona Cardinals defense. If you're not a Cardinals fan, chances are it's going to be pretty challenging to do. I couldn't either, okay? So I'm being very fair about it. But they have put some good performances together. They have blanked both Detroit and San Francisco in the second half of the games they played against them. One advantage for the Jets: the Cardinals blitz just 18.6% of the time. That's the 5th lowest rate in football. We know the Jets have had issues picking up the blitz. More good news: the Cardinals have generated pressure on just 15% of defensive snaps, also the 5th lowest mark in football. So Aaron Rodgers should definitely have some time to throw. Another stat that does not reflect well on Arizona: they are allowing 48% of opponent third downs to be converted. The only defense doing worse than that is the Carolina Panthers. But in all fairness to them, the Cardinals pass rush had a very good day as they sacked Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears 6 times in their last game on Sunday. The pass rush, though, it's been an issue all season. B.J. Ojulari got hurt before the season, done for the year. Dante Stills, their defensive tackle, has a team-high 3.5 sacks. Zavencollins, their linebacker, Dennis Gardeck have 3 sacks each. Gardeck has a team-high 6 tackles for a loss. Don't have to worry about him. He's on injured reserve. Now, this week at the trade deadline, the Cardinals traded for Baron Browning, the linebacker from Denver. They're hoping he will help that pass rush. Well, he has 11 sacks in the last 2 years, 2022 and 2023, but nothing this year. He's played 5 games, has 5 quarterback pressures, and no sacks. We'll see what kind of a difference that makes. The secondary, I want to spend a minute on this. So their starters are expected to be Garrett Williams and Starling Thomas. Now, they have 9 pass breakups between them, only 1 interception. Seanmurphybunting came over from Tampa Bay. He hasn't had a very good year in coverage. Max Melton from Rutgers. A lot of people were talking about him before the draft. He's been okay, but he's still finding his way. The safety position is a weakness for them. Buddabaker is probably their marquee player, but at this point in his career, he's really a box safety. He has a team-high 91 tackles. There'll be a couple of times when he's going to try to bring down breecehall or Braylon Allen, and let's see who gets the better of it. But Baker and Jalen Thompson, the other safety, he's been hurt this week. They're allowing 83% of the passes into their coverage to be completed. The Jets have to exploit that as much as they can. If they can get Garrett Wilson or Devontae Adams in a one-on-one matchup against the safety, Aaron Rodgers has to recognize that and throw it. And the Jets' offensive line, you know what? They've had a lot of injuries as of late, but Morgan Moses and John Simpson are practicing as of Thursday. And here's the big news: Elijahveratucker back in practice full as of Friday, coming off that high ankle sprain. So it looks like the Jets will have their full offensive line going. And that's a big deal because the Jets are going to have to run well, too, in this game to win. I'll give you one more stat about the Cardinals' defense. When the Cards' defense holds the opposing offense under 100 rushing yards, they're 3-0. When the opponent tops 100 yards, they are 2-4. When they top 100 rushing yards, they're 2-4. By the way, both of those 2 wins came by 1 point exactly. So it's almost, you hate to simplify things, but we talk about the Jet run defense. The Arizona run defense has a lot to answer to. Okay, so it's not just the Jets run defense that should be under a microscope in this game. All right, let's do what we always do. Let's flip the script. When the Cardinals have the football going against the Jets defense, Arizona's got a pretty good offense, but kind of middle of the road, kind of like the defense. 339.8 yards per game, that is 12th. 23 points per game, that's 15th. It's been a very up and down offense. Now, what they do well is run. Arizona averages 149 rushing yards per game. That's 7th in the league. Plus, they are 2nd in yards per carry, over 5 per attempt. Kylermurray, of course, their quarterback, 43 attempts, 250 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, but he also has 4 fumbles. Can't leave that out. And he averages 8.1 yards per attempt, but you can knock the ball loose. Speaking of knocking the ball loose, let's talk about James Conner, their marquee running back. Good power back, 147 carries for 664 yards. He's got 4 touchdowns, but he has fumbled 3 times this year. That's one of the issues Arizona has had, is turning the ball over on offense. Also, Conner has been limited in practice this week with a finger injury. Now, they have Trey Benson, a well-thought-of rookie running back, been hurt most of the year, hasn't gotten a lot of time. Now, receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. is the first player you talk about. The marquee rookie wide receiver was touted as one of the best wide receiver prospects to come around in many, many years. It hasn't been a very smooth first season for him. 28 catches on 55 targets, so he's only catching 1 out of 2 balls thrown to him. 445 yards. He does have 5 touchdowns, though. So when he does catch the ball, he tends to make an impact. Their other wide receiver, starting receiver, is Michael Wilson, a rookie that a lot of people also targeted, kind of like Max Melton, this sort of a late-round target. The Cardinals got him. He's got 40 catches, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns. TreyMcBride, their tight end. No touchdowns this season, though, but he is emerging as one of the best young tight ends in the game. He has a team-high 481 receiving yards on 45 catches. Jets have to have a plan to take McBride out of this game. Now, one thing about the Jets against tight ends, doesn't it feel that forever, as long as we've been Jets fans, they've had struggles against tight ends, against defending? They can't develop a tight end, and they can't defend a tight end for the most part, right? Well, they're currently 11th in the NFL in allowing receiving yards by a tight end per game. So they're 11th, so they're doing pretty well. They got to keep that up. The offensive line, you've got Parisjohnson. Jets wanted him in the draft a few years ago to play left tackle. Never had a chance. Arizona took him quickly. Kelvin Beachum is our old friend. He's going to be there at right tackle. So to me, just got to do 2 main things. Contain Trey McBride, stop the run. I got enough confidence in Sauce and DJ. They could take care of the wide receivers. All right, let's give you a couple of other game notes. Now, the intangibles do worry me from a Jets perspective. Penalties, first thing I got to talk about. Arizona takes 4.6 penalties per game. That's tied for the league lead with Cincinnati going into this week. The Jets, on the other hand, not so good. 8 penalties per game. That is 31st in the NFL, next to last. Jets got to play a clean game here. The kicking game is also a concern. Arizona, they've made 16 of 17 kicks this year, 94% of field goals between Matt Prater, who's on IR, and Chad Ryland. Yes, that Chad Ryland. Ryland was a not-so-good kicker with New England last year. He's made 3 game-winning field goals in 5 weeks. And you might find it a little crazy. I'm going to talk about the punter. Yes, I'm talking about the punter. Blake Gillikin. Why am I mentioning him? Last week, he was named NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Punted 4 times, 187 yards, 3 landed inside the 20-yard line. As for the Jets' kicking game, well, they won't have Riley Patterson. He's been released. They signed Anders Carlson from San Francisco, went 5 for 5 on field goals in a San Francisco victory. So will he be kicking? No, he's on the practice squad. Funny note, though, with Carlson, the Packers drafted him last year with the 6th-round pick that we gave to Green Bay in the Aaron Rodgers trade. How about that? But the kicker for the Jets will be Spencershrader, the rookie from Notre Dame. So who the heck knows what to expect in this one? It's a situation where the Jets better get up early and force the Cardinals to throw the football. You don't want to fall behind early and give Arizona the chance to run the clock down, control the clock, and wear the defense out. That is the exact formula for a Jets loss. Guys, let's see what happens. Also, check out my bold predictions and score prediction video if you haven't seen that already. Everybody, enjoy the weekend of football. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you right back here with more content from you know where, the Wicker Chair.